welcome to the Morning Meditation Podcast. And this morning we have a meditation entitled A Door of Utterance. We find this in Colossians chapter 4, verse 3. Paul makes a prayer request. First, he instructs them to pray. Continue in prayer and watch in the same with thanksgiving. Then he makes a peculiar prayer request for himself, withal praying also for us, that God would open unto us a door of utterance to speak the mysteries of Christ, for which I am also in bonds. The word for prayer is the normal word used for prayer. It is the present middle participle. This means that Paul is asking to be put on a regular prayer list. The present tense means to continue to pray or to keep on praying. The middle voice means that the subject, those who pray, will participate in the result of the action. They will have a part in Paul's ministry. The subject of Paul's request is stated in the words that God would open unto us a door of utterance. Paul recognizes in this statement that we are not working for an impersonal, uninvolved God. He must do some things for our work for him to be effective. He didn't just turn us loose to be on our own. What we do for him is not done independently of him. The words would open means to open. It is an aorist active subjunctive verb. The aorist tense refers to a point in time. He recognizes the need for special enablement to speak on certain given situations. The subjunctive mood is the possibility or potential. Paul wanted opportunities, and he recognized that only God could present him with those opportunities. The word door is a reference to opportunity. The word utterance is a reference here to a word spoken by a living voice. The words to speak is an aorist active infinitive. The aorist tense speaks of the occasion that opens doors. The word mystery means a thing hidden, a secret. This identifies the subject of Paul's peculiar request. The mystery is explained in the epistle. It is stated in chapter 1, verse 27, to whom God would make known what is the riches of the glory of this mystery among the Gentiles, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory. That Christ lives in the body of the believer is still a mystery after all the revelation. This prayer request is Paul's recognition that he was not independent of the needs of others' involvement in his ministry. It is humbling to realize we cannot get along without others. And unless we are willing to submit to this concept, we will not be used very much of the Lord. What if when the opportunity presents itself to Paul, he did not have the utterance from God to declare this mystery? What Paul would say, even though one who knew would fall flat and come short of doing the job. We really understand the need of others' involvement in praying for us. If Paul needed it, we all need it. The message of the gospel is a mystery, even though it is explained in the New Testament. The natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. 1 Corinthians 2:14. God has opened the blinded eyes of the unsaved to hear the message of the gospel. A part of that process is giving the preacher utterance to declare that message with simplicity. All the study in the world will not equip the preacher. Bible teacher or soul winner with what Paul is talking about here. God has to do this, and he does it in answer to prayer. That is simple enough. God's problem with us is not in his lack of ability to communicate the truth to us. It is our willingness to take him seriously and believe what he says. Just to make a point, how much time do you spend in prayer to God for utterance, an opportunity to speak the mystery of Christ? Hey, don't get upset with me. I'm speaking to me more than anyone who reads this meditation. Prayer takes time that we choose to use another way. Paul took time to pray. Where he was when he wrote this epistle gave him time. They did not have TV in his prison cell. He does end the verse with the words, "For which I am also in bonds." What do you think Paul would do if he lived in our day? Do you think he would spend his time in front of a TV or on a golf course? You say, no. What makes you think that he is so much different than us? He had an old sin nature. He had a struggle between the spirit and the flesh. It is hard for us to conceive that Paul is just as an ordinary fellow saved by the grace of God and called to be an apostle. I would like to suggest a reason for our thinking Paul was some sort of super saint. If he is just an ordinary fellow, it increases our responsibility. It means that Paul's life was lived by choice, and that he made that choice. His choice was to give God 100%. I have the same opportunity to choose. This may be the reason that there is nothing mystical about us. I know, we're afraid of that word. But if there's not something that can't be explained about us, God is not being manifest in our lives. It is as simple as that. God help me to be easily entreated, but respectfully unexplainable. Paul requests prayer from the Colossians because he was humble enough to recognize he needed help. He acknowledged the value of prayer. He requested prayer because he did not make his opportunities. He allowed God to orchestrate his opportunities. We learned the door of utterance was the door of opportunity. The speaking on that occasion would need God's direct involvement to make it successful. The message of the gospel is still a mystery. It is a revealed mystery, but it takes God to open the understanding. We can define words, explain meanings, and give illustrations, but the gospel comes as a revelation from God. Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. One more thing. The words praying also for us means that this request is not just for Paul, but for all those in his party. You can read the list and remember the chapter. It is something all of us need. May God bless these words to our hearts today.
Complete in thee, no work of mine could take, dear Lord, the place of thine. Thy blood hath poured and bought for me, and I shall stand complete in thee. Yea, justified, O blessed thought, and sanctified, salvation wrought. Thy blood hath poured and bought for me.